Hey guys, this is your friend Infominati. If you like this video, please subscribe. Today we are going to talk about why diamonds are bullshit. First of all, we need to understand the concept of intrinsic value. In finance, there is a concept called intrinsic value. An asset's value is essentially driven by the discounted value of the future cash that asset will generate. For example, when Hertz buys a car, its value is the profit they get from renting it out and selling the car at the end of its life, the terminal value. For Hertz, a car is an investment. When you buy a car, unless you make money from it somehow, its value corresponds to its resale value. Since a car is a depreciating asset, the amount of value that the car loses over its lifetime is a very real expense you pay. A diamond is a depreciating asset masquerading as an investment. There is a common misconception that jewelry and precious metals are assets that can store value, appreciate, and hedge against inflation. That's not wholly untrue. Diamonds, however, are not an investment. The market for them is neither liquid nor are they fungible. A diamond is forever a measure of your manhood. We like diamonds because Geraldine Locke told us to. Until the mid-20th century, diamond engagement rings were a small and dying industry in America. Nor had the concept really taken hold in Europe. Moreover, with Europe on the verge of war, it didn't seem like a promising place to invest. Not surprisingly, the American market for diamond engagement rings began to shrink during the Great Depression. Sales volume declined and the buyers that remained purchased increasingly smaller stones. But the U.S. market for engagement rings was still 75% of De Beers sales. If De Beers was going to grow, it had to reverse the trend. And so, in 1938, De Beers turned to Madison Avenue for help. They hired Gerald Locke and the N.W. Ayer Advertising Agency, who commissioned a study with some astute observations. Men were the key to the market. Since young men buy over 90% of all engagement rings, that would be crucial to inculcate in them the idea that diamonds were a gift of love. The larger and finer the diamond, the greater the expression of love. Similarly, young women had to be encouraged to view diamonds as an integral part of any romantic courtship. However, there was a dilemma. Many smart and prosperous women didn't want diamond engagement rings. They wanted to be different. The millions of brides and brides-to-be are subjected to at least two important pressures that work against the diamond engagement ring. Among the more prosperous, there is the sophisticated urge to be different as a means of being smart. The lower income groups would like to show more for the money than they can find in the diamond they can afford. Locke needed to sell a product that people either did not want or could not afford. His solution would haunt men for generations. He advised that De Beers market diamonds as a status symbol. Movie idols, the paragons of romance for the mass audience, would be given diamonds to use as their symbols of indestructible love. In addition, the agency suggested offering stories and society photographs to selected magazines and newspapers which would reinforce the link between diamonds and romance. Stories would stress the size of diamonds that celebrities presented to their loved ones, and photographs would conspicuously show the glittering stone on the hand of a well-known woman. Fashion designers would talk on radio programs about the trend towards diamonds that Ayer planned to start. The Ayer plan also envisioned using the British royal family to help foster the romantic allure of diamonds. What, you might ask, could top institutionalizing demand for a useless product out of thin air? Monopolizing the supply of diamonds for over a century to make that useless product extremely expensive. You see, diamonds aren't really even that rare. Before 1870, diamonds were very rare. They typically ended up in a Maharaja's crown or a royal necklace. In 1870, enormous deposits of diamonds were discovered in Kimberley, South Africa. As diamonds flooded the market, the financiers of the mines realized they were making their own investments worthless. As they mined more and more diamonds, they became less scarce and their price dropped. The diamond market may have bottomed out were it not for an enterprising individual by the name of Cecil Rhodes. He began buying up mines in order to control the output and keep the price of diamonds high. By 1888, Rhodes controlled the entire South African diamond supply, and in turn, essentially the entire world supply. One of the companies he acquired was eponymously named after its founders, the De Beers brothers. Here's how De Beers has controlled the diamond supply chain for most of the last century. De Beers owns most of the diamond mines. For mines that they don't own, they have historically bought out all the diamonds, intimidating or co-opting any that think of resisting their monopoly. In 2000, De Beers announced that they were relinquishing their monopoly on the diamond business. They even settled a U.S. antitrust lawsuit related to price-fixing industrial diamonds to the tune of $10 million. How generous! What is that, the price of one investment banker's engagement ring? Today, De Beers' hold on the industry supply chain is less strong. And yet, prices continue to rise as new deposits haven't been found recently and demand for diamonds is increasing in India and China. And now, it's less necessary that the company monopolize the supply chain because its lie that a diamond is a proxy for a man's worth in life has infected the rest of the world. That's all for today's video. Please like this video and subscribe the channel for more.